In today's coaster review, we're going to be talking about Kumba Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. This is a old school B&M sit-down looper. And let me tell you one thing, this ride is amazing. This is a very forceful, intense, whippy, and just all the great stuff you can expect from a classic B&M. This is B&M's prototype of sit-down loopers. I also consider it the prototype of a four-wheel coaster, but I do know Bizarro is technically the prototype of all four-wheel coasters. This ride is truly amazing, features tons of good elements, and just is beautiful to watch. The location of this coaster is very interesting. It's located towards the back of the park, and really nobody really knows where it is, unless if you're familiar with the park. If it doesn't really get a long line, it usually has averages about 20-minute wait. Usually I can get a walk on about 3 times a row before some people find it. But let's start getting to these stats. It has a height of 148 feet with a drop of 135 feet. Features 7 inversions including a vertical loop, dive loop, 0G roll, Kumba roll, and interlocking corkscrews. Basically the formula of all coasters. I like to call this formula the B&M looping formula for sit-down loopers and forces. Inverts don't really apply because actually some inverts have a very unique layout, and unlike four-wheel coasters and sit-down ones, which usually follow the same layout. So let's talk about this experience. Now, if you guys know, if you have ridden a B&M sit-down looper or four-wheel coaster, you know they're usually very intense. Kumba is by far out of all the B&Ms I've ridden is the most intense out of all of them. So let's get into the ride experience. So you're going to come up the 148-foot lift hill. And once you get to the top, you're not really going to get views of the park. You're actually facing away from the park, which I find interesting. So once you get to the top, you're just going to be seeing a bunch of buildings that are not on property. And you do get some pretty good views as you're going up that drop. Now the drop is very fun. It's a curved B&M sit-down looper drop. One of the taller drops at 135 feet. And then you're going to go into a vertical loop. This vertical loop wraps around the lift hill structure. One of the very few coasters out there to feature a vertical loop that wraps around the lift hill structure. After this very vertical loop, it is going to go into a dive loop. This dive loop is very good. It's by far my favorite dive loop I've been in. And then after that, you're going to go into the 0G roll. One thing I love about the 0G roll, it is very snappy. And also, one thing about this coaster that's very rare about 0G rolls, you get airtime coming out of this thing. Yes, this thing gives airtime, and that airtime is really good ejector air in my opinion. After that great 0G roll, you're going to go into a Kumba roll, one of the most snappy Kumba rolls out there. It is very good and an intense moment, absolutely no headbanging to be found. And after that, you're just going to go into a turn into trim brakes. This is necessary to slow the train down for the second half because it would go way too fast through it. After that, you're going to go into interlocking corkscrews, the world's first coaster to feature them. It's by far one of the most prettiest parts of the ride, and it's very good with that one photo of the coaster that looks awesome. After these interlocking corkscrews, you're going to go into a tunnel, which the tunnel was a very good tunnel, or I should say a turn into a tunnel. The tunnel was very loud on the inside, and after that, you're just going to go with helix into the brake run. So overall, Kumba is a very enjoyable ride. It is a very good and intense ride. So what am I going to give the score? I don't think this should be a surprise. This is a good classic B&M sit-down looper. I'm going to give it a perfect 10 for 2 reasons. It is a smooth ride for its age, and it's a very fun ride. I can watch it, ride it all day, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. At the moment, it is my second favorite coaster in the park. Only Montu can beat it. But it's a very good ride, and if you have the time to go to Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, in my opinion, this is a must-do attraction. So this is going to be the end of this coaster review. Please tell me what you guys thought in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.